Hello, welcome back. If you missed last episode, we knocked out the reigning champions in the Milwaukee Bucks, which ended up going to a 6-game series. This means that we're set to face Kawhi Leonard's New York Knicks in the second round of the playoffs. I recommend you go through and watch the playlist for this series so far to keep up to date with how the season's kind of played out. While we managed to contain Giannis with the presence of Joel Embiid, Kawhi is a different type of beast. He can consistently score on all three levels, and we're going to need a lock in defensively to make sure that we can break through into the conference finals. I'm not sure about the defensive scheme that the Knicks are going to run, but I imagine whoever they put Kawhi on, whether that be Dame or Tobias Harris, is going to have a tough series. Regardless, I'm going to employ our best perimeter defenders in Danny Green and Matisse Thybulle to guard Kawhi for the entire series. This means one of those two will basically be on the floor at all times, which will probably help us just contain him as much as possible. I'm sure Embiid can keep Mitchell Robinson under control. He's not exactly an offensive threat himself, but we do need to be careful of his incredible shot blocking ability and his tendency to get tough rebounds. Julius Randle might pose some issues himself as well. He'll be guarded by Tobias Harris, and I guess we can just keep a watchful eye on that and make any adjustments if necessary. Anyways, game 1 went a lot better than you'd expect. We got off to an amazing start by blowing out the New York Knicks with a final score of 141 to 119. Dame and Toby both dropped 35 pieces on really efficient shooting splits. I mean, our whole team shot really well, shooting 56% from the field, 46% from 3, and 95% from the free throw line, which is just amazing if I'm gonna be honest. Kawhi had a fairly efficient 43-point game himself, however the rest of his team struggled big time. Quickly and Barrett both had 4 turnovers, despite only having a combined 3 assists, so that kind of showcases their struggles with no primary playmaker on their team. Game 2 was our chance to capture home court advantage, and this one went right down to the wire. We had the ball with around 22 seconds to go in a tied game, and had the ball exactly where we wanted it, in Damian Lillard's hands. He ends up finding a way through the defense and lays the ball in with only about half a second remaining. The Knicks try and draw up a play in their timeout to get Mitchell Robinson a lob play, but he can't connect, and we gain a commanding 2-0 lead. Dame continues to play out of his mind with a 29-point, 6 rebound and 7 assist performance, whereas Embiid has a commendable 19 points and 17 boards himself. The Knicks' leading scorer was Obi Toppin, who had 30 points. I mean, that's kind of embarrassing for them considering the wide range of scorers they have on that team. In Game 3, we have yet another close bout with the Knicks, but we pull away in the final minutes of the game after Embiid has 2 amazing passes out of the low post. The final score ends at 137 to 126 and gives us a 3-0 lead in the series. There's no way we can blow that, right? This was Embiid's first dominant playoff game as he ends with 39 points and 9 rebounds. We haven't really seen that from him yet this series, so it's just amazing that he's had that breakout game. The Knicks played a solid game all around, but Julius Randle's 32, 7 and 5 stat line can't really match the output of our scoring. Game 4 gives us a bit of a problem as despite a 31 point, 15 rebound, 9 assists, 2 steal and 2 block performance from Embiid, we failed to win the game after falling out of sync in the 4th quarter. Tobias Harris threw up bricks this game and we really struggled to get in rhythm, which led to an eventual 131 to 120 loss to the Knicks. On their side, Kawhi was the leading scorer with 29 points and was backed up by Emmanuel Quickley, who had 22 points, 5 rebounds and 5 assists himself. Now, Game 4 must have been a bit of an outlier for us, as in Game 5, Embiid explodes for one of his most dominant games to date. Embiid's performance in these playoffs so far had been a bit of an aberration until these past 2 games. He ends this one with an insane 28 points, 20 rebounds, 6 assists and 6 blocks as we blow out the Knicks with a final score of 131 to 96. The Knicks side didn't really have any notable performances at all, which showcases how well our defense came together in this final game. With our momentum soaring to all-time highs, we cement ourselves into the Eastern Conference Finals. Now we're not there alone. We're going to be going up against the winner of a Bulls vs Celtics series that's currently going on, so let's take a look at how that one played out. This series looked like an absolutely grueling matchup between both teams as it ends up going to 7 games. It went back and forth with both the Celtics and the Bulls alternating with wins until Derrick Rose finally gets his revenge on the Chicago Bulls after that devastating trade announcement all those years ago. Jason Tatum played out of his mind in this series as he averaged 35 points a game, and that's a bit scary considering we'll be facing off against the Celtics very soon. The story of the 2021-22 NBA season continues to get crazier as we have a look at what's happening in the Western Conference. The number 1 seed New Orleans Pelicans are making immense noise in the playoffs with its 2 stars in Zion Williamson and Lonzo Ball. It's important to note that they did lose Brandon Ingram after he broke his kneecap late in the season. However, his loss doesn't really mean much to this surging Pelicans team as they managed to sweep the Golden State Warriors in just 4 games. Meanwhile, on the other side of the West, the Nuggets make easy work of the Grizzlies in 5 games as their youth and lack of playoff experience caused them to fizz out in the second round. The Nuggets have quite a good squad with a lot of talent all around, and this matchup between the Pelicans and the Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals looks like it'll be a really good showing as well. That being said, we're only actually halfway to the NBA Finals, and we still have a very long way to go before our aspirations of raising the trophy come true.